complex unraveling that sometimes looks sudden at one site and slow across a. The Indus world, Harappa, Mohenjo-daro, and hundreds of smaller towns, was an urban network stretching from the Arabian Sea into North. It ran canals, exchanged goods with Mesopotamia, and managed surprisingly standardized urban. When key cities were emptied, archaeologists asked a blunt question: what tore this system apart so quickly? Careful excavation complicates the simple disaster story. At Mohenjo-daro and other major sites, there is no archaeological signature of wholesale burning mass graves from warfare or a single all-destroying. Skeletal and stratigraphic evidence favors local crises and episodic destruction rather than a uniform military slaughter or instant annihilation. That undermines older narratives of a dramatic, violent ending. A leading explanation concerns water or the loss of it. Multiple geological studies show that rivers which once nourished Indus fields changed course, lost glacial sources, or became seasonal as monsoons. Sediment cores and paleochannel mapping reveal that the Ghaggar-Hakra system that supported many settlements became unreliable, cutting irrigation and forcing communities to adapt. These hydrological shifts could be gradual but include abrupt thresholds, several poor monsoon years in a row, or the sudden diversion of a feeder river could push a farming system past the point of recovery. Water stress worked together with economic and ecological pressure. Long-distance trade networks shifted as partners in Mesopotamia and the Persian Gulf changed tastes, access, and routes. Deforestation for fuel and brick soil, exhaustion from intensive agriculture, and episodic floods or droughts repeatedly damaged yield. In such a stressed system, people often left before a city collapsed, migrating to smaller settlements, switching to pastoralism, or joining other trade centers, which can make the abandonment of an urban area look sudden in one place while being part of a longer regional reorganization. Genetics adds another. New ancient DNA research from the region shows long-term population continuity rather than a massive incoming replacement, which contradicts simple invasion models. Instead, the genetic data support a picture of mobility, mixing, and local continuity. Populations adapted, absorbed newcomers in small numbers, and shifted settlement patterns again. That means cultural and material change in the archaeological record often reflects local adaptation and reorganization, not total demographic replacement. So why does overnight? Part of it is visual, well-preserved streets and houses from an abandoned city create a freeze frame that reads like sudden disappearance. Another reason is sampling bias. Archaeologists excavate specific sites that preserve moments. Taken alone, an intact street layer can look like an instant halt taken across hundreds of sites. The pattern is clearly uneven, with staggered abandonment, resettlement, and continuity in some regions. Picture this: a single Indus neighborhood where a shop door is sealed, a bowl left on a shelf, and a courtyard plastered. At that micro level, an archaeologist can feel a sudden pause in daily life. But those snapshots, beautiful and haunting, are fragments of a much larger braided story. Across the plains, other towns adjusted, new farms appeared downstream, and some craftspeople shifted trades. The result is not disappearance, but transformation, messy, uneven, and deep. The modern consensus is a nuanced one. Interdisciplinary studies now treat the Indus transformation as a process shaped by environmental thresholds, economic reorganization, and human choices, not a single apocalyptic night. Some cities declined sharply, some changed function, and many people dispersed into new economic networks. Recent reviews emphasize resilience, local adaptation, and the interaction of natural and social drivers rather than a single cause. New discoveries arrive every excavation. Each fresh paleochannel map, climate record, and DNA sample adds nuance. A river might reappear in one century. A drought pulse might align with a trade downturn in another, and human choices. Where to dig a well, which crops to plant, which trade route to follow, change the outcome. The civilization didn't vanish in a single. It remixed, relocated, and left behind a complex legacy that modern science is only now starting to read correctly. If this peek into a world in motion intrigued you, like and subscribe, and next time we'll explore the Indus script, the final unread message they left behind, and why modern researchers still can't agree on it.